Alright, here we are for our final round of this league with another incubable hand. And a hand that's not great but keepable. And we'll put this land on the bottom. Stomping Ground tapped. It's kind of unusual for like a Jund or for burn I would say. So my guess is something like maybe Naya Company or Jund or maybe even Scape Shift. So what do we want here? Spell Snare is going to be good against Jund. Like, it could also be Living End, which Spell Snare is completely blank against, but we also have Remand and Deprive to help against that. Vapor Snag is an interesting one. We don't have much creature interaction, and it's a cheap spell that can flashback with Snapcaster, so I'll leave that on top after the Spell Snare. It's kind of annoying that we can't use Spell Snare right now, but those are the breaks. It's a young Pyromancer. So this is probably Patrick Chapin's Temur Tempo deck, which uses stuff. Actually, I'm not sure. Did it run Pyromancer? I do know it ran Copperline Gorge, but the idea was like you had Prowess dudes like Abbot of Carol Keep and stuff like that to just get value. So, with a couple of choices, we have a Remand or Spell Snare, or just slam this young Pyromancer. Our opponent doesn't know about the Spell Snare though. Let's go ahead and just let's play this tapped, or not. I just kind of misclicked there. But my intention was just to leave up Spell Snare. Hopefully it doesn't get us too good. Crack Misty, sure. Yeah, so basically the idea was to play stuff like Tarmogoyf, Abbot of Carol Keep, and things like that that get bigger with the more spells you cast, and it has stuff like Mishra's Baubles to grow your Prowess creatures and your Tarmogoyfs. We're not able to do anything here though, so maybe we just Vapor Snag the young Pyromancer right now. I don't know. I mean, we can then Spell Snare on the way down, but I don't exactly know how productive that would be. If he has a counter during our turn, though, that means he can attack with Elemental, so we might do this during his upkeep. Or actually, we might just do that during combat, and then try to hit it with the Spell Snare on the way down. I actually kind of like that. Lava Spike us. Okay. That's fine. Actually, let's go ahead and bounce the young Pyromancer in response to this Lava Spike. That way, if he has other sorceries, he can, that way he can't cast them and get more value off. Crack Misty. Okay. Lava Spikes us down to 11. And here we will Spell Snare. Still has 2 elementals though, and now he has Delver. Maybe this, I guess maybe this is just like a normal Rug Delver deck, though running Lava Spike is kind of unusual. Druid Island. So we have a couple of choices. We can play Young Pyromancer or leave a Deprive Remand, or we can Snapcaster bounce this, leave up Snapcaster Spell Snare. I think I prefer just leaving up mana here. Like, if he flips this, we might just want to Snapcaster bounce it. Actually, let's stop here. I didn't reveal, so we don't need to do anything. Actually, though, what we can do is go Snapcaster Mage, bounce an Elemental with Vapor Snag, and block Delver. Actually, I like that, because what that does is it shuts off all of our opponent's pressure and means that our opponent that we don't have to worry about a 3-2 beating us down. Violent outburst. Okay. Maybe this is okay. So he's bolting that, sure. I guess we can just yeah, before damage, let's go ahead and bounce an elemental. Kind of our goal next is to just play this Pia and Kirnalar, and we can profitably block the elementals and the Delver. Simic Charm. Wait, it's not giving his permanence hexproof. Okay, well I guess he just has the bolt then. Alright. Well, if he has it, he has it. So let's get the mountain and play Pia and Kieran. If he doesn't flip the Delver, we can just block. He can't really attack that well. Yep, he has the bolt. Okay, that works. Okay, so what we're gonna do is bring in Static Caster, Spellskite, Engineered Explosives, Dispel, Gate. Might even want to Fairy, though that is kind of slow. Sword of Fire and Ice seems great here. I'm a little split on the Vapor Snags. Like, they are useful cheap interaction, but they don't do a ton. I guess they do profitably deal with a Delver, since our opponent has to wait to use them again. Okay, I'm gonna shave a couple of Snapcaster mages. I heard Pascal Maynard explain this. It made a lot of sense. Snapcaster mage is always kind of expensive to use, and the 2-1 body isn't always the most relevant thing you can do. So you can feel safe shaving 1 or 2 in blue mirrors. I like keeping a couple in because they still have a ton of utility. Mana Leak is both. It's like, how should I say this? It's both slow and ineffective, because it's really hard to leave up 2 mana in a matchup like this, and the fact that your opponent can just pay 3 is really inconvenient. Okay. And I guess our life total kind of matters, so we can shave a Git Probe. Though I still want to know what my opponent's doing. Actually, Relic is good. Our opponent probably has Tarmogoyfs. I don't know why you would play a Rug style tempo deck without a Tarmogoyf. And that helps there. And it can also deal with our opponent's Snapcaster mages. Yeah, being on the play is very important here. And this hand is pretty good. It's definitely keepable. So what we'll do is play Scalding Tarn, pass the turn. We'll just fetch a Steam Vents if we need to. Plays a Delver of Secrets, that's fine. Let's go just end step and fetch a Steam Vents. No, not like to pay life. Sulfur Falls is pretty good. Let's just go ahead and pass the turn. If it flips, it's not too big of a deal. Well, it didn't. Swift Spear, okay. Taxian Probe is fine. Probably just gonna Vapor Snag this to avoid some damage. Yeah, this is the most mana efficient play here. And guess we can... Actually, we should just kill this right now. Like, we can use the Staticaster to clean up a Pyromancer and its tokens if we need to. Like, the main issue is the Swift Spear, but we can still take care of that. We have plenty of spells in our deck that'll take care of it. Bolt that, sure. And if he, yeah, he would have to, like, I guess he doesn't have Pyromancer right now, or even if he does, he's holding on to it because he knows we have the Spell Snares. So let's grab an island and cast Serum Visions. Double Delver is interesting. We'll leave one on top, the other on the bottom. Actually, no, that was... I should have left both on top, because we do have this to fetch with. It's just that he's probably going to have a Bolt 2, and we would want some way of... and we would prefer to have another threat. I guess we can shuffle it back into the deck with Misty here. These decks tend to just be kind of threat light, but then again we do want to draw something that'll help deal with the Swift Spear. Deal with it permanently, I mean. Violent Outburst, okay. Alright, what's he cascade into? Cascades into Gitaxian Probe. Sure. And this deck's certainly interesting. Definitely not saying it's bad. Yeah. Yep. Let's play Delver and Mr. Rainforest and set a stop on our upkeep so that we can so that we can shuffle away anything if it's bad. Oh, come on. That's bad for us. What do we need to get out of this? 3 lightning bolts. Or the engineer explosives, honestly. Okay. Let's just get breeding pool. Not pay life. Alright. Don't need that stop. Well, we can't really cast the Young Pyromancer into that Staticaster. So... are kind of dead soon unless we draw something. The only thing is we would have to bolt the Staticaster first. Although we might just be dead here. Oh, my opponent is doing it. Yep. Alright. I'm just gonna let my opponent kill me here. Well, we didn't go the 3-2 we wanted, but, well, I mean, the deck is okay. You can definitely have fun with it at F&M. It's obviously best when you can flip a turn 1 Delver, or actually just flip your Delver in general, unlike in a couple of our rounds where we just couldn't get our Delver to flip no matter what. Here our opponent probably just kept a bunch of Pyromancers in hand and didn't plan to our spell snares. Okay, well, those were good games nonetheless. Alright, hopefully we'll have some better luck in more modern videos.